everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm glad that you're here. My name is Oceana. I am going to be sharing books with little to no romance that I have read that I would recommend. As you might imagine, that it was really hard to make this list. I prefer to read romance in my books, no matter what it's about, no matter what genre or age group or anything. I like romance. I like reading romance, so most of the books that I pick up, I intentionally look for romance in them. So some of these books do have a little bit in them. There are very few books that I've read that have zero. If it had zero, I probably didn't like it and I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, you know, take it with a grain of salt. There's gonna be some romance in some of these books, and I will specify, but I would say that like the plot is not focused on that romance. I wouldn't say the first genre is romance for any of these books. It's like a sub-genre. It's like an add-on that makes me happy, and maybe you can just overlook it and still enjoy the story. So that's what we're going with this. It is a super random list, as you may imagine, because I had to go deep into the archives to find these books. I scoured Goodreads for what I've read. I looked through my bookshelves, and this is what I came up with. So I've got a mix of like middle grade all the way to adult. Middle grade feels kind of silly because like there's not really romance in middle grade, but sometimes there is. And yeah, is there even middle grade in this list? Never mind. Don't worry about it. There's no middle grade. YA to adult, okay? So I guess I'll start from YA and work my way up to adult. So I've got like a stack of books, but I also have a list in front of me, so let's do it. Okay. All right, I've actually got 2 middle grades and that's it. And I just went and got it because I own this book. So The Final Six by Alexandra Manier. So this is a sci-fi, and so there's 2 characters. It alternates perspectives, boy and girl. I don't remember romance being super prominent in this book. They're definitely more friends than anything. Anyway, so this is about, what is this about? No, I remember. Okay, so there's like this space mission that you can be drafted for, but you like apply. So all of these, and only teenagers can go. These 2 characters apply and they both get in, and they're going through training to go to space. And it was mostly about the training and about space, and then of course the government has a secret that they're trying to like discover, and so they're trying to like figure out what's going on really, but then still train. And yeah, it's mainly about that rather than romance. It's actually pretty similar. Did that sound really similar to Skyward, which is like right there? Can you see it? Okay. Skyward, I finished it, and it's very similar plots. There's like 0 romance in this. Yeah, this is definitely more implied than this. So there you go, 2 sci-fis. Then I also read this book this month, Breakwater by Catherine Jones Payne. This is a mermaid story, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, there's romance, but like nothing happens. It is about the like political upheaval of this mermaid society. And so there's mermaids and naiads. I don't know what a naiad is, but they can like manipulate water. So those 2 creatures are living together, and you follow a mermaid and stuff's going on. But if that sounds good to you, there you go. What am I? Fantasy? Yeah. So those are the 2 YAs that I would recommend. Let's go on to adult. Okay, I'll just go through the books that I actually own and then we'll see how I feel. So, The Testament by John Grisham. I now have like a history with John Grisham. Suli, rest in peace. But The Testament, 5 stars, love this book. And there's really not any romance in it. What crosses a line into romance? I don't know, because nothing happens. But there's like, you know, a girl and a guy talking to each other, which is like enjoyable to read, but like it's not, nothing happens. So So quick rundown, this follows a billionaire man who wills most of his stuff to this random daughter that he has that no one knows about. He's had 3 wives and all of them and their kids expect a big inheritance, but he wills like everything to this random girl. So a lawyer has to go find her. She's a missionary in the Amazon, and he has to go find her and tell her like, hey, sign this stuff. All of your dad's stuff is yours. And that's the story. It's so good. I loved it. So there you go. And like no romance in this book. So the one book that I like love with like literally no romance. So great. Okay. This book, I don't remember if it has romance actually. It really doesn't. It maybe a little bit, but it's The Prodigal by Brennan Manning and Greg Garrett. So Brennan Manning is the author of The Ragamuffin Gospel. This follows a super famous like pastor. He has books and he's rich and he has got a mega church, but he is caught in a compromising position being drunk and in a woman's hotel room. So he gets completely canceled. His wife leaves him and he gets kicked out of the church and he basically wants to die. And his dad calls him and is like, come stay with me. So his dad takes him in and he like recovers with his dad in like a small town. And there is a woman in the story, but like it's really more about this guy's recovery and redemption. And I really liked seeing the perspective of a pastor going through something like this because it's pretty relevant, as you all know. So yeah. Okay, this book is like weird. So it's Eve by William Paul Young. Yeah, this has no romance in it. It's about a girl who there's like 3 different realities in this book. And it was really fun to read because like it was kind of hard to tell which reality was the real one, and it was just like fun because it was set around Jesus and like spirituality. So it didn't feel like, I don't know, like I knew one of them had to be a dream state, but what about the other 2? I don't know. So that was fun. It opens with this town seeing a crate wash up on their shore. They open the crate and there's like a girl in it that is almost dead. And so they nurse her back to health. That is the story. And lots of stuff comes out around that. And it was really fascinating and thought-provoking. So no romance in this one. Okay, my next recommendation that has little to no romance is Mind Games by Nancy Mell. Now this, we're moving into territory where sure, yes, you could say there's romance, but the story is not about that, and it's really a background focus. You could skip over it and not be bothered, I would assume. But yeah, so this follows a FBI serial killer profiler. She does have a partner, and there's like no romance between them in the first book. They're just becoming friends. Anyway, her dad was a serial killer, so she has trauma to do with that, and that's why she went into serial killer profiling. And you follow stories of her and serial killers, and it's like really well written, really exciting. I really liked these characters, and I thought Nancy Mell wrote like action and suspense really well, so would recommend. Okay, another author that does write romance into her suspenses, but to me it's a backstory, is Terry Blackstock. So If I Run and Truth Stained Lies, these are really good. I would recommend them, and in my opinion the romance is a background. This one even has less romance, I would say. Like, it's really about discovering what actually happened. This one also though has like barely any romance. Like the third book has the most, and it's like still even not that much. So you probably know what these books are about. If I Run was super popular. It's an amazing trilogy, definitely. If you have to pick between these two, pick If I Run. And Truth Stained Lies, it's all about like murder mysteries, and they're just really good. But again, there is romance in them, but it's like not a main focus. So yeah. Okay, anything else? I could go into, okay, let's do this one. Shadows of Swanford Abbey by Julie Klassen. So Julie Klassen writes primarily romance, but this one for me was way more about the mystery than the romance. There was a romance in it, but to me it was mild for her. Like it's usually about the romance, but this one was, there was a murder in this like hotel kind of, and everyone, all the guests and stuff, there's like an investigation, and yeah, that's really what it's about in my opinion. And like a lot of like family secrets and history that was fun to discover. And so yeah, but there was a romance as well, but I would recommend it if you don't like romance that much. Okay, and then two totally non-Christian books that are thrillers that, yeah, didn't have any romance, but you know, they're like really intense. So first one is No Exit by Taylor Adams. Didn't write down the name. I think it's Taylor Adams. Anyway, you're seeing the cover. So yeah, this book is like really intense. It follows a girl who is caught in a really bad snowstorm. So she pulls into this rest stop, and there's a couple other people at the rest stop, and she like sees a little girl's hand in the back of a van, but like in a cage. And so she's like, one of the people in this rest stop has taken this girl, and like I can't save her and drive away because it's snowing. So she has to like figure out what to do. There's like a little bit of like goriness, I guess, like to do with a door, that's all I'll say. And so yeah, but no, there's no romance in this, so there you go. And then Home Before Dark by Riley Sager is also, there's no romance in it. Yeah, so there's like one character that this girl like talks to, and she's like lonely, so something might possibly happen, but it doesn't, so there's no romance. And this is about a girl who goes back to her childhood mansion that is said to be haunted, and she's gonna find out like what actually happened because she doesn't think it's haunted, and stuff goes on about that, and it was pretty fun for me to read. So those are all the books that I actually like that have little to no romance in them. So as you can see, not a lot, and it's a random list, and even then some of these do have romance in them, but it's just because I love romance. So I don't really read, I don't look for books that don't have it in it. I get excited to pick up a book if I think it does have it in it. So yeah, but I thought, you know, to kind of balance out all the romance recommendations that I have on my channel, I would put up a non-romance recommendation video. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any good recommendations, please write them below because I would definitely be interested. The story has to be really good though. Really good, you know, for there to be no romance. Like honestly, I would say The Testament is the only book that I love, and it has nothing to do with the romance. There is no romance. I just love it because the story was just so quality. This is the only one. Everything else, little snippets of romance are needed, and for me to like it. So anyway, yeah, so if you have any recommendations though, definitely write them below. You guys can check the comments if you want more, and thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. I'll put this at the end of the video, but so this is coming out Friday. I'm putting up another video tomorrow, Saturday. Be prepared. I've watched it over like 5 times because I make myself laugh, and that is like really happy for me. I entertain myself. When I edited my video for tomorrow, I laughed the whole time because it was so spontaneous. I need to make more spontaneous videos because it was really fun. So okay, on to I'm hyper. It's early in the morning and I'm hyper. Okay. I need to get it together. Okay, wait, no. Okay, fine. Oh, okay, good. Is it over there? I should go get it.